Well, hello, Catherine Langman here, back with another episode of the Productpreneur Success Podcast. And in fact, this is the second to last podcast for 2022. And of course, the last one before Christmas. And I am slightly freaking out right now, not because of this episode at all, but because I have hardly started preparing for Christmas at all. And I have family all coming to my place for Christmas lunch. Yay! My hubby actually dared to say to me the other day, so what's happening on Christmas Day then? And you can imagine the death stare he got for that comment. And usually he's actually a pretty involved, proactive partner and parent around this place. He does do a lot, around the home, and he shares quite a bit of the mental load, if you call it that, with the kids. But, I guess putting on big gatherings just is not his forte. I so wasn't in the mood when he said that. And I think I said something like, the blissful ignorance of passing through life, assuming Christmas Day will just magically happen. So anyway, back to this episode. If you're watching the video, you will see I've got my festive red top on, my matching red jade earrings and necklace. I don't know if you knew you could get red jade. It's not just green jade, there's red as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd do that just to get in the festive mood a little bit. Now, this is not going to be a long episode. I know at this time of year, you're probably all super busy and you're probably all really looking forward to putting your tools down for a little bit and hopefully enjoying a little bit of a break. So because of all of that, this is just going to be a real shorty episode for you. However, it is something that I'd really love you to take action on. It's nothing onerous, and it should be a really fun exercise, or at least really rewarding anyway. So at this time of year, I really love to take a few minutes to just really take stock of what's happened throughout the year and kind of, think about the wins and the good, finding the good from the year that's been. And I really do think that it is incredibly important to incorporate reviews into the way that we work. I've spoken about it before. I think on a recent episode, I was talking about, needing to, or the process of looking back at your progress is a really important and essential component of helping you to feel very positive and motivated and successful, rather than always looking at the work you have yet to do, if that makes sense. But I especially think that doing some sort of a review exercise at the end of the year is very important. Because if you don't do that now, how can you really set new visions or goals or any kind of New Year's resolutions? I think that if we do always look ahead at what we get to achieve, that's a horizon that's always moving away from us, right? And so without first looking back at the progress you've made, you kind of end up setting yourself up for negative feelings, feeling a little bit miserable. Hopefully not completely demotivated or anything, but if we're always looking at what we haven't achieved and haven't got yet, then it does put a bit of a negative connotation on how we feel. So I want the opposite for you. I want you to go into your holiday period feeling really good about what you've accomplished, as well as really excited about the year to come. And I know that it has been a tough year, so this might feel initially like it's not going to be an easy exercise to do, but there is always ways to find the good and the silver linings out of the work that you have put in throughout the year, and personally as well as in your business. So today I have two very simple exercises for you. They're very simple, but also really, really powerful. And it'll probably take you a maximum of half an hour to complete this. So I really reckon there's no excuse not to do it. If you do feel comfortable once you've done the exercise, I would so love you to share it with me and with our audience. And so I'd love to invite you to jump into our Rockstar Productpreneur Facebook group and share your review exercises once you've done them. And so pop them in a comment there and tag me as well so that I can come and give it a read. Of course, if you're not already a member of that group yet, you can join for free just by heading to catherinelangman.com/rockstar. All right, so the first thing that I would suggest to you is, number one, you need to have something to write with and write in. So for me, I have my planner book that I use throughout the year. But if you have a notebook or something along those lines, use that. I do recommend using something to handwrite with this exercise. There's something, and I'm sure that there's some sort of, neuroscience to back this up, but there's something about the act of handwriting that helps the information stick in your brain and in your memory more securely than typing, or, even less securely if you're just thinking about something but not documenting it. So handwriting is best for this exercise. And so, and another idea, and I didn't have this for recording this episode, I mean, most of you will be just listening to it anyway, but a friend of mine suggested to me, I think it was only last week, that she likes to light a candle when she does this exercise. So she lights the candle before she starts, and then once she's finished, she blows it out. And I think it's such a beautiful little ritual to help really anchor in the good stuff from the year. And so I apologize for anyone watching the video. I didn't grab a candle for myself to do that here and now, but I do think that's such a beautiful extra little step in the ritual. So that's, aside from that, just, maybe find yourself somewhere comfortable and quiet to do this exercise. It's probably going to be pretty hard to do it if your kids are running around crazily and making a lot of distracting noise or anything along those lines. So the first part of the exercise is to look back throughout the year and to find 20 wins that you can document and list out. And I know when I did this exercise this year, I think I got halfway through the list quite quickly. And, there were 20 things that were, the bigger things that I could remember, the bigger wins that I could, I'd highlighted them throughout the year, you may not know, on a weekly basis with my planner book. I always write at the start of the week, I'll write 3 wins from the week before, and then I'll plan out the 3 big things for the week ahead. And it's just a bit of a practice that I got into a few years ago. And most weeks I'm good with it. Occasionally it doesn't happen, but most weeks I'm good with that. So it was, I was able to kind of go back through the planner book, through the year and kind of pull out those things. But, I kind of got through 20, half of my list of 20 quite quickly and easily just from memory, and just really thinking about those things, the highlights that stood out to me. And then after that, it got a little bit hard, and I had to kind of dig deep to think about those things. And I was thinking about things personally as well as in the business, personal things along the lines of my son getting his driver's license, for example, and being able to sleep in a little bit more and not being so tired from doing all of the early morning swimming driving trips. And then, there were other times in the year as well where the brain kind of wanted to go to the fact that maybe that was a really hard experience. Most people would look, and at the time I looked at that experience as not a win. It was the opposite of a win. It was a hard time. But I was able to start flipping the switch a little bit, flipping the script. What's that phrase? And looking at it, the lesson as the win, if that makes sense. What was the experience that I took out of it that, helped me to get better at something? So, I was able to start really extending that list in that way. And so, get to 20 wins and stick at it. It can be really tempting to not stick at these things because, you can get a few easily, and then it takes a little bit of effort to find the rest. But it feels so good to get to the end of that list of 20 and really feel like you've had a lot of good things happen in the year, and to really force your brain to acknowledge those good things throughout the year. And then as a second step, after completing that list, literally get your phone out, get the voice memos app of your phone, and record yourself reading through that list. Try and order it, at least the first 3 in order of the biggest, second biggest, and third biggest wins for you, and talk a little bit about that as you record it into your voice memos. Again, this is just about really trying to anchor in the good stuff into your brain and into your memory. The more that we can do that, the more that we can look at our progress and reflect on that progress, reflect on the good stuff that we can take out of the work we've done, the better we are setting ourselves up for success in the future, because we feel like a winner. When we feel like a winner, it changes the way we approach our work, and it changes our perception of ourselves as being, a really successful person, really successful entrepreneur, or whatever the endeavor is that you're going after. So that's the second part of that exercise. The next part of the exercise is to actually look ahead, and this takes a little bit of imagination here, a little bit of visualization, if you like. Look ahead at yourself in 12 months' time and write your list of 20 wins that you want to enjoy next year, so in 12 months' time. Now, when I write this list, I like to write it from the perspective of it having been achieved. So I'm not writing it in future tense, I'm writing it like it's happened, if that makes sense. And I don't know if there's any extra benefit for doing it that way. You do it however it feels right for you. But for me, I find it easier to visualize myself having achieved all that, all the things that I'm setting out to do, if I write it in that kind of past tense, like I've done it, I've achieved it, right? So again, it's that exercise of listing out the 20 wins that you want to enjoy in 12 months' time. So imagining yourself in your shoes in 12 months' time and writing that list of 20 things out. And then a similar process of sorting at least the top 3 in order, 1, 2, 3 of your list. So the most important win, the second most important win, and the third most important win. And then again, if you're up for it, record it as a voice memo. And this, this process of handwriting the list and then recording a voice memo is really just going to help anchor this in for you into your memory and into, really adopt it yourself so that you can move ahead with confidence. And one more step after you've done those 2 tasks, and this is a slightly longer form way of writing that list of 20 wins type thing, but it's a little bit broader than that. And it's writing a letter to yourself in 12 months' time. So again, for me, when I write this, I write it like it's the present tense. I'm writing it like, here's what my life looks like now, like in 12 months' time, right? And again, I just find that, that's just a personal preference for me. So I'm really feeling like it's easier to visualize myself in that, having had those experiences and achieved those goals, if I write it in the present tense. So what do you want to put in this letter? So the first thing that you can put in there, that you don't have to do it in any particular way, by the way, this is just what I've done. And so I've got 4 kind of components, 4 topic areas that I've written in my letter to myself. And the first is describing my lifestyle. And so, this is what works for me. So for me, obviously, to have success in business, you kind of need to be making a bit of money, you need to be making some profit. However, for me, I'm not massively money driven. So for me, it's more about the lifestyle that I get to enjoy because I'm having success in my business. And, for me, that's very much orientated about my family or around my family. So I've written some paragraphs around the lifestyle that I have enjoyed over the 12 months, right? And then I have written a section about career. So for me, my career is my business. If you're not an entrepreneur and you're working in a job, a career job, then write it about your career job, whatever is relevant to you. And so for here, for me, because I've written it about my business or my career in my business, I'm actually writing it about what I personally will have achieved in my business, but also how I'm working, with my team and the kinds of tasks that I'm doing in my daily work life, and the sorts of achievements that I will have achieved. I mean, obviously in this letter, I'm writing it as though I have achieved it, but that I'm aiming to achieve in the next year. And the next part of my letter is about personal goals. And you might think, well, how is that different from lifestyle? Because I guess lifestyle infers that it's about your personal life, right? But personal goals, I think, is a little bit more like, new, what do you call it? Skills or achievements that you want to have obtained. So for me, I've sort of put things in there around fitness goals, around personal date nights with my husband. I think this year we might have been on one kind of date with each other, which is a bit sad. I've put in there about, celebrating my son turning 18, which, my goodness, he's going to turn 18 in 2023. And a few other sort of things like that I personally, that I have on my personal goals list and achievements list for the next year. I've actually put on things there that I've been quite good at maintaining over time, but things like daily meditation and things like that. So even if it's not necessarily a new thing, but it's like a habit goal that you want to maintain, put that in there too. And then the last part of my letter to myself in 12 months is around finance. So in the career kind of, professional goals area, I didn't actually write about the financial side of that, the goals that I'm aiming for there. So that's what I've put in this fourth component or fourth part of the letter. And I've written about business-related finance goals and personal ones as well. So, again, this is just what I've done. You don't have to do it this way, but I think, this is such a beautiful way to really envision what your next year is going to look like before you go into the new year and start setting really specific business-related goals. So hopefully you like that exercise. Well, 2 exercises there. Like I said, they're not particularly difficult. There's nothing fancy pants about any of that. And at the end of the day, they're just 2 simple practices that are really going to help set you up for feeling like you can actually relax and enjoy a few days out, or a bit, a few weeks out, however long you're taking out to have for a Christmas holiday. You want to be able to finish the year feeling good about what you've done this year and feeling relaxed as well, and also just feeling like you're looking forward to the year ahead. So hopefully you enjoy those. Like I said, if you do them, I'd love you to share them with me, or at least share how you feel about doing, having done the exercises. So pop into the Rockstar Facebook group and let me know. Now, after Christmas and in the new year, I do have a series of podcasts and training coming up for you that's all about planning and really helping you guys to prepare for the year ahead. So really keep an eye out for that content coming your way. I think hopefully come January, you're all going to feel like you're ready to start setting your vision and your goals for the time ahead. And so that's the content that I've got coming your way. I actually also have a new thing. So this is a 2023 e-commerce marketing playbook coming your way. It will be a really comprehensive PDF playbook that you'll be able to download and read, and I will share the details with you as soon as it's ready so that you can find out how to get your hands on it, and it will be free. So keep an eye out for that. And really, at the end of the day, I just want you to imagine starting the new year with a really clear vision and a step-by-step action plan that's, so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing so that you can achieve your goals over the coming year. And just really imagine how much clarity and control that you would feel over your business growth trajectory once you have, that kind of planning process under your belt. So that's exactly what I want for all of you. Now, of course, if you don't want to spend the next year trying random strategies, hoping that one of them is going to stick, then you might want to investigate joining our mastery coaching program or working with our agency. So those would be your opportunities to take some shortcuts and to really help catapult your business to the next level in a matter of weeks and months. So if you would like to have a chat about those options, then you can book in for a free e-commerce strategy session. Just head to productpreneurmarketing.com/let's-talk. And I will, of course, share that link on the podcast show notes page. But that is it for today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a bit of a shorty episode this time around. I really have loved creating this show for you all year. And every time you leave a review on Apple Podcasts or you send me an email to tell me how much you've loved an episode, it really fills my cup. So thank you so much for being an amazing audience for me this year. And right now, I also want to give a very special shout out to Sarah Power on my team, who has been by my side producing this show. Without her, I don't think that I could have kept this going. So shout out, Sarah, you are amazing. Now, for now, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Regardless of whether you actually celebrate Christmas or not, I do hope that you can take this time out to, really enjoy relaxing and reconnecting with your loved ones, and hopefully building up a little bit of energy and enthusiasm for the year ahead. Bye for now.